Welcome to you coverage of the challenge All-Stars. That's Alex. I'm Johnny, and we are talking the greatest challenge in the history of challenges. This determines who the greatest challenge competitor of all time is, right?
Yeah, that's what TJ's telling us. They only brought the best of the best of challenge legends, OGs, all-stars, you name them. All the superlatives are out there. We're going to get the best one after this season.
Oh, wow. I mean, because I've always wondered, there's been debate, is it Johnny Bananas? Is it Wes? Is it Kenny? Is it CT? Is it Anissa?
No, it could be Letarian.
Yeah, it could be Letarian, and it might be Anissa. We don't know. I thought this was the greatest 46 minutes of television I've watched in 2021.
It was just so much fun. Like, there wasn't a moment watching. It literally brought me back to when I started watching the challenge. I went to older seasons and started watching it, and it had the hints of old challenge, but with the new technology, the better cameras, and with some of the more intense challenges. So you brought the challenges of today with great casting of the past, and it's just a great combination.
Well, Trishelle was under the impression that they were doing the early version of the challenge in which you sat around a pool and drank.
Yeah, the summer camp.
And then sometimes you were interrupted by not so difficult challenges.
Yeah, like Giselle said, last time she played, they were having sugar cookies on the beach.
Yeah, well, there were no sugar cookies today. How fucking awesome was this? I mean, holy moly. Let's start at the beginning. We get the from MTV Studios, and we get the from Dire Straits, Money or Nothing, the MTV.
Yeah. MTV.
There you go. You did it much better than me. It's 10 o'clock at night. I've been using these vocal cords all day long. Oh my God, the insanity that has been my day. And to start the day learning that an athlete was actually something. Behind the curtain. I'm a realtor. I manage about 550 rental properties. I evicted a guy a month ago, and he moved back in. Just moved all of his stuff out with the supervision of the Danville, Virginia Police Department, and then 3 weeks later, after he had vacated, everything moved. The place was cleaned. Moved himself back in, and changed the locks. And it was just like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just getting out some stuff." And it's like, "Why the locks changed?" And it's like, "Oh, I didn't feel safe." Did I mention there was a crack pipe laying beside a bed that he had moved back in?
Yeah, I was just taking stuff out of my car and putting it back in the house. You see, yeah, it's my house.
I feel that is what he explained to himself. It's just like, all I know is this is my house. I don't know what I understand what happened a few weeks ago, but this is my. So yes. So yeah, the voice is not optimal at 10-12 p.m. Eastern time, but I'm here for this. So this morning began at 7 a.m. watching this. I could barely sleep. I was gonna stay up till midnight because I didn't know when it was gonna drop. I still don't know. Did it drop at midnight East Coast? Did it drop 3 a.m. East Coast for midnight West Coast? I still have no idea. So I was like, I want to watch this with fresh eyes, because I have to take notes because we're broadcast journalists. We take this seriously. So, but at 7 a.m., bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, same way I like my ladies, I was all in on this episode, and it did not disappoint. Not 1 second of this fucking episode disappointed. So, I mean, like, rewind 24 or 12 hours, 24 hours from last night, the Challenge Double Agents, 5 episodes too many already. Just get us to the fucking final. Oh, not this. Like, I don't want the final to ever come on this season.
Yeah, you know what you didn't hear tonight, Johnny? There's a certain like phrase that TJ loves to throw around these last few seasons. We did not hear it, and like that part of me at the end, I was like, wait, is there still gonna be more? We haven't heard him say, Latarian, because you won this elimination, you have earned a gold skull, are now qualified to run my file. No, we are back to like old vintage the challenge where you just go into elimination to prevent yourself from going home.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, just old school the challenge, and wow. First and foremost, it just jumped out at me. The letterbox presentation of this, beautiful, so cool, so cool.
Yeah.
So I remember when Letterbox was first introduced, I'm just like, I'm missing part of my screen. It's like, no, you're actually getting more. I'm like, go fuck yourself. This like. Everything about this was so cool. So the episode begins post Dire Straits MTV with a flashback to Katie Doyle's bitch confrontation, and I've been on the receiving end of one of those. I don't know if you've ever watched the series Kill Reality on E, but Katie Doyle called me a bitch many times in one episode. So,
yes.
Yeah.
No, I just got in there. I'm like, oh, it feels like you get that clip and you're just like, oh, I'm back. I'm back in the good times of the challenge. She's like, the last time you saw me, I had 2 black eyes because I went face first into a platform.
Oh, I remember when that happened back then, and seeing her in Los Angeles, right after, like it was so crazy, like for a moment, like time stood still, and we have Katie tell us just like, look, I'm a wife now, I'm a mother, and I'm just like, give her 48 minutes. We didn't see it on episode 1 because we were 2 minutes shy. I'm thinking episode 2, we get the Katie Doyle that we saw on the intro clip here.
Yeah, it's going to be a girls elimination next night. So immediately we're going to go into the episode and it's going to be Katie yelling at someone. It's my time.
Just to set the parameters for her entering into the crater or the arena. Sorry.
She's like, all the girls, it's a girls' night. I'll be a captain because y'all are bitches.
Yes. Warmed my heart. Hasela, is it pronounced Hasela?
I think it's pronounced Yasela.
Yasela.
Yeah, like the J is silent.
I know. So that's what I was wondering. Is it
Sella
or yeah?
We'll find out. We need more people to say the name. It's been so long. Like she said, I think it was like 2005 was the last time she was on the challenge. But her falling down the steps.
Oh,
you just hear the music just cut.
Just set the tone for awesomeness.
Yes.
MVP of the episode, right?
Yeah, she's clearly the MVP, and I love it. It was like throwing it back. You get that old school. You get Feels Like the First Time by Foreigner in the background as she's talking herself back up. Like, I'm 40 years old. No, I'm 25 still. I'm 25.
Yeah. So Yasela. So because I watched, I did prep work. We did the draft thing, and going into the draft, I watch videos to learn about some of these. Like, I know the core people that were peek behind the curtain, the impetus for why this show was made. So,
you mean the guy who's 220 pounds of twisted steel and has a 15-foot or 15 size shoe that's going to go 15 inches up someone's ass?
Yeah, that guy. So, and a lot of this, I mean, the we want OGs was not created for yes.
No.
Okay. But I welcome yes. I mean, like there are so many people they're on my possible peripheral that have found their way into my hearts in 46 fucking minutes.
Yeah, and I just loved in the intro, like the first few minutes, it was just this seamless rotation of here's Katie, now here's Mark. Like they just didn't do everyone, but they did here's some prominent names that you're gonna remember: Mark, Alton, Cyrus, Trishelle. Which can we just say Trishelle looked fantastic?
Oh yeah,
getting out of that bus.
Yeah, no, I got a couple regrets in life. One of them, Trishelle Cannatella. I mean, should have put a ring on it. Because I knew. I mean, you're talking about a girl whose sisters are named Buffy and Buffy, and this is the pick of the litter. How could you go wrong with the one sister not named Buffy?
Oh man,
that is true. I don't know if you know that. From Cutoff, Louisiana, her sisters' names are Buffy and yes, Buffy.
That's incredible. I did not know that.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. So and I'm so excited to tell this story, and then we'll get confirmation from Trishelle on future episodes. She will be joining us, and so when I was living in LA, I remember going to breakfast one day at this place. I think it's called the French Quarter. And Trishelle shows up, and she was in a bad mood, and I'm like, "What's wrong, Trishelle?" And she goes, "I can't. I keep getting tickets for expired plates on my car."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Well, fix it." She goes, "Well, they won't give you new stickers or plates for your car if you don't have a license." And I'm like, you don't have a license? She was like, "I haven't had a license for 3 years." So we see the clip from the last time Trishelle was doing a challenge, and she's putting her stuff in a car as she drives away without a license.
This is a different country. This is
during that time. She did not have.
Oh, that's incredible.
The amazingness of Trishelle knows no boundaries. I mean, this was a daily, just like there's surprises, there's twists and turns. So let me throw this in real quick. I was late running to my computer to do the podcast, but we have a Patreon version of Reality NSFW that you can find at adfreeNSFW.com. And every month, there's certain tier, the $5 tier gets you coverage of Australian Survivor, and you get the links to the episodes and the podcast that follows. And then the $10 tier gets you all the audio, like it's our weekly Q&A and everything else. So, but I think there's a $30 tier called the Outcast Twist, and every month I have 4 reality stars autograph picks that you get each month. And once again, I was dealing with Rufus moving back into an abandoned house, but I'll be posting the picture on adfreeNSFW.com tomorrow of the 4 pictures or the 4 autograph picks that you get this month. One of them is Trishelle. It's her in a bikini. It's a very beautiful pic, autographed by her. Another one, I didn't have time to grab this. Ashley Millionaire Mitchell. So 2 of your 4 autograph picks are of challenge legends, and one is Ashley Millionaire Mitchell, another is Trishelle. The other 2, get ready. They're great as well. So, but join now. Go to adfreeNSFW.com, and the Outcast tier gets you autograph picks each and every month. Really cool. Happy to send those out. So, so we learn pretty quickly this is an individual game.
Yep.
Yes. What were your feelings on that?
I loved it. It was sort of like when you heard the rumors that were going out saying that there was only going to be one overall winner, it brought me to thinking like, oh, they have to be doing some sort of like the free agent style format where it's individuals, but each round it could be you're playing as an individual, you're playing as a pair, you're playing in groups. Like it allows you to be more creative with your challenges because you can literally just throw anything at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah. So and kind of produce on the go based on who's getting eliminated.
Exactly. Like you do have that option as production. So we can say later on whether or not we think that's truly the case of what's happening. But I think in regards to this episode, I found it just fascinating. And I also like the format of how they do the eliminations, but we'll get to that once we hit that.
I mean, like anyone's just like, oh, production manipulation. At the end of the day, I mean, yes, there's a prize of $500,000 that's going to one person, right?
Yep.
But at the same time, at the end of the day, the real fucking goal is to make the best fucking television show possible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but LT might have got a win tonight. LT winning this thing is not, I don't think it's the best show possible, right?
No, and like if he did win, they would at least want to create a situation where other people also shine to highlight the other aspects of the challenge. And then you're like, okay, because it's like you see it in other reality shows where you see a winner that maybe some people are underwhelmed by, but maybe the season in general was really fun because of other characters and other things that production highlighted more. So there's that way that production's able to sort of roll with it in that event as well.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I love the idea of an individual game that, that could have several components to get to that. As I said, end of the day, we're just trying to make the best TV show possible. And I think we're going to get it. So.
Yeah.
And who's a producer on this? Katie Gallagher from Survivor. What season was she?
Wasn't she Guatemala?
Guatemala?
No, not Guatemala. Palau, wasn't she?
Palau, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Wow.
So she's a producer on this.
I did not know that. I must have missed it as everything was scrolling at the end. But that's awesome.
Yeah. So happy for her. So yeah. I kissed her one night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was just a friendly, we just kissed. Yeah. Nothing to it.
Hey, maybe it's the gateway to get survivors on for All Stars. You have your in.
Katie Gallagher, if you're watching, second kiss could happen. I just need me, Lex. I mean, I'm watching that. We'll get to my idea once we get through the first challenge. But I have an idea to make Paramount Plus the greatest streaming service in the history of streaming services.
Well, all I'm going to say before we continue is if you need survivors on there, if you want your co-host Matt Bischoff to watch, you're going to need to get Cole Metters on it.
Oh, well, I mean, so no, there's a place for him on the challenge. I need him and Fessy to pretend to be great. So
that's great.
No, I can pretend to be great better than you can pretend to be great. We'll see. Okay. So, yeah, we find out $500K, time to move into the house. And what do we play? The boys are back in town. How cool is that? The soundtrack to this episode, fucking perfect. Mark Long even talked about on Twitter. He was like, editing and sound and sound and music could not have been any better.
Yeah, and you know what? I usually don't really give a shit about the house itself, but for the first episode, especially in this, I loved what they did with the house. Like you have the sort of like rusted helmets that have all their names on it. You have their names on the wall. You have quotes, iconic quotes from them on there. Like I wrote down the one from Beth where it was like, "I don't kiss ass, I kick ass, and if you don't watch it, I'll kick your ass."
Yeah. Yeah, that was all. Did you see where it said legends on the wall?
Yeah.
Do you think they had a name crisis for this fucking season?
Yes. Well, yeah, because you had right at the intro when he was listing all of them, he was going, "You're OGs, you're legends, you're all-stars, the best of the best." So I feel like each wall has like one says legends, one says best of the best, one says all-stars.
Yeah. So we have No Hype Network saying Johnny is so protective. Yeah, I'm extremely protective of that legend's name, and even more so after this episode. But yeah, I saw that on the wall. It's just like, no, you're called All Stars. You shouldn't be. It should be the fucking challenge OGs. I mean, whatever that discussion was by the higher ups, because like I'm sure they saw OGs and there's some old guy at Paramount or wherever going. Do people know what OGs means? And it's like, yes, motherfucker.
Yeah, no, it's like you have the old guys. You would think like, depending on who was on creative, they're like OGs is like, that's a good name because, we're in 2020, 2021 now. everything that's like being pushed out there is nostalgia pops.
Yeah.
What's more nostalgic than being OGs? Because you're like, everyone knows what an OG means. But you also have like the downside where some people may think, like at my college town that I went to, they changed the night spot, like one of the clubs. They changed the name, and they changed the name to the Basement Night Spot. And all of us were like, there had to have been like 85-year-old men going like, oh, what do we call a club that you have to go downstairs for? It's the Basement Night Spot.
Yeah.
And so like maybe someone was like, oh, maybe OG sounds like that. But I'm like, OGs just sounds so good.
Yeah, no, OGs is perfect. As I said, Legends is perfect for Survivor. We were here first. We get to call it first. And, Survivor did an All-Stars. This isn't the All-Stars. But this is OG. This is fucking Legends, but OGs, like MTV is the hip version of CBS.
Yeah.
So the hip way of saying Legends is fucking OGs.
Yeah, but like you said, though, we've seen All-Star seasons in multiple different reality shows, and in every All-Stars cast, there's a handful that everyone goes, Are you sure you came on the right bus?
Yeah. So Lex from Survivor Africa and All-Stars, Survivor All-Stars, he calls it Old Stars.
Well, apparently so does Tech after this episode.
Yes, Tech money. So yeah, they moved to the house. I think it's pretty cool fucking house. So
it is.
Where did they film at? Was it Argentina?
I think it was Argentina.
It looked like Big Bear.
It did look like big. It looked like just like a random. Oh, here's this little nice house.
It's a lot.
in the middle of the woods.
Like I filmed a show in Big Bear, Camp Reality, with Coral and some other MTV and CBSers and we lived in a lodge that looked very similar to this. And we had challenges in the water, but the water was fucking cold, even in the summer, and it fucking sucked. And I'm just like, are they really at Big Bear? And they just didn't want to say because of COVID.
Yeah, we don't know. Like the only thing that got out really was that we knew that they were quarantining in Texas prior to filming. And that was like the last spot that people saw. And then everyone said, oh, they got their way to Argentina.
Big Bear, Texas?
Yeah, that's also what it's called. We're saying the same thing here.
Yes. I mean, it didn't have Big Bear vibe. Have you been to Big Bear?
I have not been to Big Bear.
You've seen it on enough shit. So I'm thinking they fucking filmed it Big Bear, and they like your contract says, hey, you get an extra $200 if you say we were in Argentina.
Yeah, we're like, this is a 3-week series. We're not jetting you guys to another country here.
Yeah, is it 2 or 3?
I think it was 3, but it could have been 2. It depends.
They keep saying 2 weeks, like the narrative has been 2 weeks, but I think they're saying 2 weeks for the sake of people say I went away for a couple weeks.
Well, I think people were like gone for 3 weeks, but maybe the actual like show production was within a 2-week span. But you had like a couple days of going out and coming back.
Okay, so well, whatever. I want this to have taken 28 weeks to film because I don't want it to end. So once we're in the house, tenderoni.
Yeah, Beth wants her tenderoni, but tenderoni already got a roommate.
Tenderoni shut her down. Has Beth aged one day?
She really, if she has, she's aged very well.
I think she looks identical to the last time I saw her in 2005.
And it's just like she looks fantastic.
She does.
Like, she's the oldest person there, but honestly, you wouldn't tell that she's the oldest.
No. I think she's. I mean, I thought she was great looking before, but I mean, of everyone, I mean, Katie Doyle looks the same. Trishelle looks the same. I mean, so many of them look, close. So some don't, but a lot do.
Yeah, but I also
let's say half.
Yeah, we'll say half. But I also love how Nehemiah's like, dude, I want a season. Like, I've done so many things. But the one thing everyone will recall when they see me is tenderoni.
Tenderoni. But Nehemiah looks 5 years younger than the last time we saw him. I'm just
Yeah.
What water do you drink? Because I'm in. Like you got some fountain of youth water going there, buddy. I want to buy stock in that. So Kellyanne, I didn't know that Kellyanne was my favorite on this season, but Kellyanne might be my favorite on this.
I tried to mention this to you earlier before the season started. I was like, Kellyanne is very good looking.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember her, and she was so young back then. But I mean, wow, she's beautiful. So that's it. A lot of beautiful girls, a lot of beautiful guys. Hey, congrats, guys. So some motherfuckers doing some shit right. Some of you are. So some of you, I don't know. So Kendall, hot 40-year-old. So Kendall's hot for 30.
Yeah, and like you could tell right there, everyone thought she wasn't 40. They're like, "What? Were you like late 80s?" She was like, "Oh no, I was 1980." Like, what?
Yeah. If I had to guess her year of birth, I would have said like 1990.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
it's like she looks very well.
Yeah. So no, congrats. So then we have Ace with potentially the best confessional at this point of the episode. These people would have killed each other for a scooter back in the day. And you're telling me there's $500,000 on the line?
I don't know what they'll do for $500,000. I was just thinking of like all the like eliminations that they did in the gauntlet. They're like, oh, if you win the gauntlet, you win the scooter.
Scooter. I mean, like even at fucking like 25, a scooter is a shit fucking prize.
You had Derek ripping people apart just to win a Best Buy gift card.
For the record, I believe Derek really likes Best Buy. Oh my god, I didn't see it. I saw a clip of it. So I guess they're doing an All Stars after show.
Yep, I watched it.
Okay, what's it called? Aftermath.
Yeah, it's Aftermath with
and Derek's wearing a T-shirt that says Pitbull.
I saw that, and all I was thinking of like, we've been calling him a Pitbull for weeks.
What are the fucking odds? Anyone that hasn't watched our draft special assessment deal, real life human fucking Pitbull, Derek, and he's wearing a T-shirt that says Pitbull.
Yeah, and the Aftermath was actually pretty interesting. It does give you some insight on how some of the decision making went down for this episode in particular. So I'm excited to watch those moving forward, just because I'm sure we're going to get a little more of what's been going on that they can't just have the time to put on the show.
Yeah. Were you disappointed that was 46 minutes? Or did it seem like a sweet spot to you?
I thought it was a sweet spot. I thought it was like that perfect timing. Everything was moving like very well paced. There was never a spot to me that felt like it was dragging.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like we probably missed some stuff in the first, 2 days that they're in the house or whatever, right?
Yeah, probably.
But at the same time, fast forward to episode 9 when maybe not as much shit is happening. And I think I'm like, oh, 46, you fucking nailed it. So versus, an hour and a half of, why did they show that? It went nowhere. As we saw last night with the double agents in a 60-minute episode.
Yeah, and you know what else it helps is you don't have these commercial breaks where you have to find out, what's happening on Ridiculous in a half an hour. And, there's this new season of Floribama Shore that no one's going to watch. Tune in.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I left wanting more, but I think that's a good thing, though. Yeah.
I'd rather want more because that drives me, especially with how they're laying this out. They're not dumping it all on us. They're like, we're going to make you wait for it so that you keep coming back each Thursday at midnight or whenever you want to watch it, and you can watch it and you'll be satisfied again.
Yeah. So, and in the interim, starting with season 11. Why did they start with season 11 of the challenge on
I think there must be some sort of like thing that either like it's too old to put on there, or like or there's licensing issues. I have to think there's something like that because they don't have all the real world seasons on either. They only have some of them. And I would think if you're MTV, you do whatever it takes to get all the seasons on there. I don't know for what reason. Maybe they think there's controversy in them or whatever that can't be put on a streaming service. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, like I know, like the WWE Network, they had pretty much everything, and it's been the licenses agreement has been sold to the Cock.
Yep.
And the Cock has decided
to pee all over it.
Yes, the Cock is peeing all over the WWE. They're deciding what is going on their network from the vast library. They're just like, that's not here, that's not here, that's not here, and there's nothing that I'm just like, no, that's bullshit. I'm just like, I'm good with that, I don't. So, but I can't imagine that the first 10 seasons of the challenge is just like, yep, every episode.
Problematic. Like I always think like they should do like the Disney Plus method where like you have these problematic things from the older movies that they put out, but they put a disclaimer at the beginning to be like, hey, when this was made at that time, we understand the implications of it now. Yeah. But like it's still, I always think it's healthy to still see it, because if you just hide it from people, it will just come back again in a different way.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the stuff that the WB that the Peacock is removing from WB, I'm just like, yeah, we're good. I mean, if you really want to find it, you can. You don't really need to find it. Relax.
Yeah.
There's how many fucking millions of fucking hours of like the other millions of hours of shit isn't enough. So like, hey, there's a reason they chose to fucking leave it out. It's good.
Yeah.
Like it's not good, but it's good that it's not there.
But you know what? Speaking of WWE, if we do a little sidetrack here, do you think because of how truncated this style of season is he too big for it? But would you think you would ever see The Miz come in?
I don't think they'll allow him to be gone for. I mean, like these people had to quarantine and all. I mean, you
would have to think by the time they do another one that
we might be back to normalcy a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say we're back to normalcy. I don't think they would let him leave for, let's say, 3 weeks to do, because he's done since he's been a big deal in the WWE. He's hosted like the after show.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, like I didn't watch the season, but I saw highlights of when CM Punk was on the Pros episode.
Yeah.
And Bananas embarrassed him.
Oh yeah.
Like big time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and this guy was fresh off being fucking WWE World fucking champion. And Bananas embarrassed. So if anyone caught any wind of that, and I'm sure they did and fucking laughed their fucking ass off at it, there's no way they're risking The Miz getting embarrassed by anyone.
Well, here's what I see from it, because if there's anyone on their roster that they would allow to do something like this, it would be The Miz, because they're allowing him to have all these other opportunities because they trust him. Yeah. And also he's able to do a comedy gimmick very well. So like if he did get embarrassed in here, they could just make it a storyline for a month and then he gets to move on.
Yeah, but they even with the comedy stuff and all that, they still portray their quote unquote superstars as larger than life people. And where the WWE universe doesn't see challenge competitors as larger than life, even though they are. They're just like, that could be me. Whereas when you watch WWE, you don't say that could be me. So
no,
I did, but I'm a dreamer.
Yeah, I always just see it as it doesn't hurt to have more free, like essentially free publicity by putting a star in another channel that could bring eyes to it. Because if you have just people on MTV who never watched WWE and they see The Miz and he's just his charismatic self and like, oh, I want to see more of him, they come in and tune into WWE and get to watch The Miz on Monday nights. But anyway, let's get back to the main show. We have an alliance here.
Well, hold on real quick, but I don't think that like 500,000 is the prize money. I mean, I would imagine the Miz is probably making $250,000 an episode of Miz and Mrs.
Oh yeah, he's making so much bank.
So I mean, why would you do 2 weeks for 500,000? And then let's just say they give him an appearance fee of 500,000. Like, they're not doing it.
Yeah, it's a pipe dream.
Too much. So I love the idea. I just don't see it happening. Okay, so it's time for our first daily of the season, Deep Blue Dive.
Yeah.
And good name. We find out very quickly that there are 2 teams of 11, the silver team and the copper team. Some teams learn that later. Not when they should. And there will be the goal is once the challenge begins, there's math equations on the back of this podium, and you have to go get the puzzle pieces that correspond to the answer to that mathematical equation. And if you cannot, there is a 5-minute penalty if you can't get that puzzle piece. So they and I'm just like, oh man, one of these penalties that's going to be a difference maker. Just one. And it's time. We have to choose captains, and you always know when you're choosing captains that there could be some positives and negatives. And
yeah, so we have our 2 teams, and so we will start with the copper team. The copper team's made up of Mark, Derek, Latarian, Cyrus, Ace, Alton, Jonny, Anissa, Ruthie, Katie, and Kellyanne. So on paper, as you'll hear Big Easy go this is like a Goliath team, and the silver team's the Bad News Bears. Yeah, and
there's no way they lose.
Yeah, you would think on paper there's no way they lose this competition, and they're like, oh, Derek explains guys, if we lose, most likely the captain's going in. So Latarian, who just got off by saying before the challenge that I'm not worrying about politicking, he goes, I'll be captain because I don't give a fuck.
There you go.
There you go. I'm like, and if you're any of the other guys, you're like, fantastic. We were going to make you the captain anyway.
Yeah. Right. I don't know how much inside information Mark Long has at this point of the game, and maybe none. Okay.
It could be none.
Could be none. But Mark Long's smart enough not to be a team captain.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He knows when it's time for him to be in charge, and it's not during the challenge.
Yes, and it's not challenge 1, even if it is.
Yeah, but then they also go okay, we have our guy, and before he can change his mind, okay, girls, who do you want? And everyone's just like, no. And Nissa's like, I know I'm the most experienced. I've done 14 fucking challenges, but I ain't putting myself in the captain.
No.
So
this is the role for me. And no.
No. I'm like, I'm smarter than that. So Kelly answers okay, I'll do it, but you guys need to support me here.
Yeah, I'll do it, but remember this. And it's just no one's gonna remember this.
Yeah, she's like, I want to risk it now, and then I can go back under the radar and wait it out.
Yeah.
Until again. I'm like, you know what? And who knows if they truly knew if it was gonna be a men's night or a girls' night, but there is risk there.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is that our copper team?
That's the copper team. Yeah. And our silver team.
Okay. Why is there a copper team and a silver team in which you're diving for underwater, red and blue, motherfucker? Come on.
But it has to be OG. It has to be all-star. It has to be legend. These guys are being pulled from the archaic wastelands that they have been. They're copper. They're silver.
Underwater, silver and copper is the same motherfucking color.
I know.
Darrell's like, I got the fucking metal one.
Yeah, I got the metal. They're like, no, it's copper. Can't you tell? I'm like, no.
No. I got the fucking glimmering metal one with the right fucking number on it.
I ran in there because Beth swam back. I had no idea what I was getting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have the silver team now of Darrell, Nehemiah, Big Easy, Yes, Tech, Beth, Trishelle, Kendall, Jemmy, Yasela, and Arissa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way they're winning.
You're like, no, there's like, you're looking at the team, you're like, there's no way you're winning. Like, we don't trust the fact that half of you could even swim this, let alone dive in and pick these up. But like, yes, I loved Yasela's energy right off the bat. She's like, you guys, you can't have this. I can't do that energy. You have to have this can-do energy. And I have a plan that I already have ideas, and I'll be the captain. I'm ready for this. I'll take it.
How cool was that?
I was like, I wasn't expecting that, Albert. But when she did, I was like, it gave me so much more respect for her. I'm rooting for you now. Like I'm on the Yasela train. Right
Yeah.
now.
Well, I mean, falling down the stairs of the bus, I'm just like, all right, I like her. And then this never say die. You know, where she's one of the fucking Goonies. I'm just like, will you be my little sister? Jeez.
But then they're like, okay, we need a guy to do it. And Tech's like, he does the Latarian strategy. He's like, I'll do it because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I think it was a little different for Tech Money.
with Tech, it was like the humor of it, where Latarian's just like, I don't give a fuck. I'll do it. Look at my muscles.
I found no humor in Latarian.
No, there wasn't humor. I was just like, I was really going for this entire episode, or at least the first half of this episode, going, Latarian's going to lose. He's going to be the first person out.
Yeah, and I'm cool with it.
Yeah, you're like, I personally don't know Latarian. I didn't see any of his seasons.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, give him his shine, give him his time. But you're really setting him up with this whole, I was embarrassed my last elimination. This is my redemption story. I can't be the first one out. I can't be the first one out. I'm like, oh, he's going to be the first one out.
Yeah, he can be, and I'm for it. So nothing against. I mean, like I don't.
Yeah, nothing against him. It was just editing from what they were showing me.
Yeah, I mean, but even after all this, like it's like I'm still not against Latarian, but I'm like,
I'm in
22 people. There's 21 people I like more, and one of them's gone.
Yeah, Ace was just so funny this episode.
Ace showed me signs of why I didn't pick him in my draft.
Same. Like everything that he was doing, I was like, yeah, this is why he's like trapped back in the old school format where it was like honor, like it was the honor amongst thieves thing, but like there was no thieves. You were just like, everyone was just honorable. Like, oh, I performed the worst today, so I will put myself in. And oh, I was the captain. I will put myself in, and we'll duke it out. But best man wins. We shake hands after. Like that's not what the challenge is anymore. And Jemmy says that right. Like all these old schoolers have no idea what they're getting themselves into.
No. So we have our captains. It's time to start. And oh boy. Going into this, we see that these mathematical equations are tough for older people types. Number one, they don't have the readers.
Yeah,
and that helps.
And no paper, no writing utensils.
Seeing the numbers, you need your readers. And but we learn really quick. Yes is a state math champion. Now, I didn't know that they had, I know like state volleyball champions. I know state like shot put champions, state golf champions. Where do they have these math battles that I've never been privy to?
I feel like it's something that you do in like grade school. Like they have math competitions and stuff like that. Like you see that, I've seen them in movies. I've never participated in a math competition.
So yes, is a state math champion 40 years ago.
Yeah, probably
like in third grade.
Yeah, he's like,
who the fuck isn't great at math in third grade?
But maybe it was in high school. Who knows? But still, it's like he seems like just. When he comes across, he sounds like he's intelligent.
Yeah,
or he comes across
like Peter Parker's like a math champion in the Marvel movies, and that like I'm just like that's fake.
Yeah.
Like Peter Parker can't climb walls, and there's no such thing as a math championship in high school.
Yeah, like here's the way I see it. You're either good at math or you're not. Like there's people that can look at numbers. I went throughout math was like my easiest subject going through all of school and college. Like I only had to take one semester of math in college because I was just that far ahead. I only needed one. I was done. Pretty much got 100 in it just because that type of stuff came easy to me. Other people, like for example, Derek, he sees numbers, he sees puzzle pieces. He's like, I'm out. Someone else do the math. I will then just swim.
I think it's like Beautiful Mind, but it's just the numbers, not the answers.
Yeah.
There's just a cloud of numbers swirling. He's like, yep, there's a bunch of numbers.
He's like,
yeah, I'm gonna go lift something really heavy.
Yeah, I'm gonna dive and I'm gonna lift something up.
Yeah. So yell out some numbers. So this was a fucking legit fucking challenge.
Oh yeah, like, and I agree with. So they talk about it on the aftermath because we see a lot of people have to be brought back to shore. Some were like Derek and Giselle and a lot of them. They were all saying there was a lot of people that were pretty close to fucking dying from how cold that water was. Like what you don't see is a lot of them were brought to like the ambulance trucks that were at like on call to like really re-warm them up, bring them back. Like there was a moment there with Arissa where I was like, she's about to die.
I'm like, did she have frostbite?
Well, like, you saw her. She was so skinny. I was like, she has no type of body fat on her to like take or absorb any of the cold from that water.
Yeah, I'm guessing Arissa is a vegan.
I would have to believe so.
Yeah, and as her body it just shock.
Yeah, it looked like there was a couple of them where it just felt like they stopped moving.
Yeah, like scarily.
Yeah, like she stopped moving. I think like Tech stopped moving. There was a moment where Laterian looked like he was literally about to go down plunged into the water
like you see the guy like coming to save him, but I'm just like, motherfucker, put some step in your step.
Yeah, they talk about that. They're like the guys, like the lifeguards just like casually going to them very slow, and they're like, we're dying here. Bring us back. But like you only see a few people being able to actually like go in and go out. And one of them, Gisela.
Yes.
Gisela, like after Darrell goes down, after Beth like decides she can't do it, Darrell goes down there, picks the wrong puzzle piece, and then Gisela's like, you know what? It's my time. Tell me what number I'm going in. And she fucking does it.
Because mine never matter.
Yeah, so like we see that most people can't do anything. Like for the Copper team, it seems the only people that were able to do anything were the three people you would expect: Derek, Alton, and Mark. But even them, they're like, we're getting it. And then we're like, our body is so shocked. We have to wait a little bit before we can put ourselves through that again. But the Silver team starts gaining momentum. And like Gisela keeps going in and out. Yes keeps going in and out. Nehemiah's getting like all the deep pieces like with ease because, you know, he's only like 35 right now. And he's in the prime of his life the way he's looking.
Yeah. So, no, and I think it's that team that figures out that all the numbers are within 3, which I think, you know, if you are able to do it, is a difference maker.
Yeah, like I would have been good for like the individual parts, like the individual math equations. Like what Beth eventually gets to is like for the division, you're like, oh, how many times does this number go into this part of the number? Okay, you move on to the next one. It's like you just think about it as if you're in grade school and you do it. Because what Yes says on the after show with the math, it wasn't just it was him, Beth, and Trishelle like dominated all of the math and figured out the answer.
Okay.
Yeah. So we could talk about with Trishelle about that when she's on.
Yeah. And Trishelle like basically takes 2 steps to the water. She's like, no way. These are not the cocktails that I'm looking for.
She's like, there's no alcohol here.
These are not the droids you're looking for. She's like, these are not the cocktails I'm looking for. And Jedi mind tricks herself.
Like all the girls, it was sort of fun. Like Beth decides, oh, I don't do cold. And you just see her like doggy paddling backwards.
No, doggy paddle backstroke gingerly.
Yeah, and everyone's like, you're going the wrong way.
Didn't care.
Yeah, Katie runs in 5 steps. Is like, no. They're like, oh, do you think you're gonna faint? Like, no, it's just I'm not doing this.
I'm just not doing this because this sucks.
I felt so bad though for Kellyanne. They sent her out with the wrong number, and she keeps going back and forth. She was probably gonna be one of the only girls who could do it, and she's like, the number doesn't fucking exist here, guys.
Yeah. Oh, that was so bad. So then it's time for the line of the challenge. Tech Money. The challenge is this is the challenge senior edition at the old folks home. And God bless it. At that moment, I'm sitting there thinking of Lex Vandenberg from Survivor Africa and Survivor All Stars. And I'm just like, I cannot wait to call this motherfucker later today. And I did. And I'm like, Lex, here's the idea. We need Survivor Legends Paramount Plus exclusive, 21 days instead of 39. We got fucking jobs, we got families, we have people in our lives. Fuck 6 weeks, 39 days, and all that. Fuck that. Fuck the press for all. We don't need to do any of that. We can do the press via Zoom when we get home. So 21 days. Easy fucking challenges. See, that's where they forgot. They did everything right on this, and they're just like, hey, let's kick their ass in the challenge. No, do not kick their ass. That is not necessary. I mean, it's hilarious. Don't get me wrong, but we didn't need it.
But they did not expect it to probably be that cold or them to react that way. And also like Mark Long is in there going, no, I want to have the challenges that they're doing on the main show because I want to be showing everyone who
that
watches this, we can do this if we wanted to.
6 weeks out of our lives, but we have lives.
Yeah, like we have lives.
This isn't our career.
Yeah, it's like we're not doing the show not because we can't. It's because we just don't have that time commitment to do it.
So, Survivor challenges aren't that insane. So I'm fine with the challenges the way they are on Survivor. 21 days, $1 million.
Yeah, smaller cast.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I can send motherfuckers home on the rapid tip. I mean, I can send a motherfucker home every day. I don't care.
Do it.
Double tribals, triple tribals. Bring it.
Yeah, you can do it at Big Bear.
Yeah, Big Bear. Or Argentina, as we like to call it.
Argentina.
Paramount Plus. So as soon as I saw this, I was just like, the challenge senior edition, give us Survivor Legends senior edition. I am ready for it. So Tyrion Drowning. We do have a Bush machine head with the breathe in, breathe out, which I thought was hilarious. TJ is shaking his head like we've seen during Double Agents, the happiest we've seen TJ throughout any season, laughing, having so much fun. He's all in. He is fucking face palming and head shaking the entire fucking challenge. He's like, what the fuck did you guys sign up for?
He's like, I don't like quitters. You guys are quitting on me because you're not dying in the water. Come on. Don't you love me? You guys all love TJ. I want you guys to die in this water.
Oh my God. I mean,
that's a new t-shirt called a TJ.
Right. So we have a winner, and our MVPs are Nehemiah, and of course our star of the show, Gisela.
Yeah, so Silver Team wins it. The Bad News Bears win.
Yes. So, and then we learned the twist.
Yep. Yeah, so you have the male, because it's a male elimination, the male captain of the winning team, so Tech, is safe, and he starts dancing out of celebration for being safe, which I loved. I just loved how he was just in front of everyone, just outwardly going, sucks to be all of you.
Oh, yeah.
And then Gisela gets a throwback. She gets a lifesaver, which can be used to save the nominated person from going into elimination. And then we would assume it would force them to just throw someone else in.
I guess. Yeah. We didn't have a clarification on that. So kind of like a hidden immunity. Well, I mean, kind of like the immunity necklace on Survivor.
Yeah. Oh, also before we keep going, No Hype Network is sad that we have not mentioned Big Easy yet. Okay, I was very happy that Big Easy was able to swim and get a puzzle piece. He should have brought the puzzle piece back.
There is that.
And they also had to show him at the very beginning of the episode for the montage of him dying during the final.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't die again.
Like, literally, that moment is like when you do Survivor moments that they always show, like the Eric Reichenbach giving the immunity idol away. They're like, that's the moment.
Lying about his grandma dying.
Yeah, the grandma dying line. Like, that's the Big Easy dying in the final moment. Because if you ever watch clips of the challenge, that's one of the first ones that come up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a big deal.
It was. Like, literally, his team, besides one person, were like, we're going to just drag his dead corpse if we have to.
Yeah. So just Brad with a conscience.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everyone else was. Yeah. So, all right. So it's
Laterian. Yeah,
Laterian's going in, and we'll have a vote later. But it's time to go back to the house. It is the 90s party, and we get the Rough Riders theme from DMX. We get some Puff Daddy. We get Salt and Pepper. It is awesome. Oh, well, I guess we're not quite there yet. So we have the Rough Riders theme when we go back to the house, and then LT stakes his claim.
Yeah, he talks to Cyrus, his boy, and he goes, "Okay, I have relationships with pretty much all these guys. I want Ace. So give me Ace." So we also hear in this, because I guess they had more time than what we showed. Like, that's the only conversation we hear before they go to the nomination.
Yeah,
and it looks like the captains aren't involved in the voting, but apparently Derek said that him, Alton, and Yasela all talking. And Yasela was pretty much like, you guys can throw Ace in. I won't use the lifesaver because of our history when he called me dead weight. And this comes back from double agents. Don't call people dead weight or they're going to come back for you.
Exactly.
So apparently, this was Yasela, truly the MVP of this entire round, was controlling what was going to happen.
Yeah. All right. No Hype Network, please touch on how this felt racist. This didn't feel racist to me. This felt like LT knew everyone in the house but Ace. He was just like, hey, I'm friends with all these people in the house except this one dude that I don't know. Can I go against the one guy that I don't know?
Yeah.
I would do like if there's a Survivor season if they brought back 20 people and I didn't know one of the people, I would be like, hey, I want to stay with my friends that I know and not this one motherfucker that I don't know.
Yeah, get rid of the person you don't know. You're better to go, even if you had people who have screwed you in the past, it's better to go with the people that you know.
You still know. I mean, there's people, I mean, Rupert's my arch enemy on Survivor. I'm not calling out, if I'm doing a challenge with Rupert, I'm not calling out Rupert first. I mean, I am getting Rupert. Don't get me wrong. He's in the crosshairs, but not episode 1. I want the motherfucker that I don't like, David Wright. I don't know David Wright. Seems okay. I don't know him. But, but if I'm there with Ethan and Jenna and Heidi and Rupert and Richard Hatch, sorry, David Wright, I don't know you, motherfucker.
Yeah, if I don't know you from a hole in a wall, you I get the least blood on my hands by saying I want you.
Yeah. So because apparently LT knows everyone else in the house to some degree.
Yeah, at least a little bit. And he's like, I've known this guy for 24 hours.
A little bit goes a long way on a show like this.
Oh, yeah, it only takes so much. But yeah, so Cyrus says, I'll help you out. We go into nominations. And first we get Darrell with the highlight.
Real quick. I mean, I know a big chunk of this cast. Like, I lived in LA with them. I hung out with them. I only met Ace one time. He didn't live in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And even in LA, he was a fish out of water.
He sort of comes across like that.
Yeah. So it's like, sorry, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like these are my peeps.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we get Darrell, and he's like, everyone, I just want to say we all did well in this. It was hard as fuck. We only won because we had an athlete on our team. Yes, the mathlete. So Cyrus then comes and says, hey, we don't have anything really to go off. The only thing we do have is LT came to me and he said he wants Ace. I'm going to respect his wishes. We can vote that. You cannot vote that, but I'm just saying what he would like. Yeah. And that sets Ace off.
Oh, you guys are monsters.
You're monsters. Like, I would never do such a thing. And remember this 3 days from now, and it's you on there, but the game will change because you're monsters.
Yeah. And also, I had a crush on Beth, and that's the only reason I did the challenge in the first place. Yeah, who would have guessed Beth was his crush?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have guessed it, but hey, maybe he was also saying that just because, like, oh, maybe if I do that, maybe she won't vote for me.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I get Beth has had her fair share of guys in the in the world. So I mean,
she had
I don't know how many. I mean, I know she's had the option for many. So good for her.
But I love
Beth held up. I mean, Beth looks the exact fucking same as 16 years ago, and that is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like with Ace, I love his little quote that when they send him back for confessional mid argument, he goes like, "They act noble, but they're evil." Like he has this very big picture of I am the hero and everyone else is the monsters and the villains, but the hero never gets to win. And there's only so much of me.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I was having signs to reminded me of the one time I hung out with Ace and I was like, he would have been my vote.
Yeah, and like he says why. He's like, everyone's gonna pick me because my temperament, I'm not gonna be like reciprocating or really doing revenge against everyone because it's just not in my nature to do that. So it's the least blood for everyone. And plus, once a name's already thrown out there, there's no reason for any of the guys to then go, oh, wait, someone else should go in for that. And there's really not a reason for the girls because it's an individual game. Why do the girls care?
Yeah. And it's, I think that for a while, I don't know how long it's going to last, but I think whoever does end up in the arena, that I think there's enough camaraderie amongst the group that if someone is forced to be in there, then for at least a while they will be able to call their shot and say, hey, I'm stuck in here. We all signed up to win this thing,
Yep.
By my luck, I ended up here. Give me this person. It's a fair fight. Let's go.
Yeah, until it's their time and they're going to be like, no, why? Why me? I'm going to change it. I'm going to flip it up. Because I think that's how it is going to start. It's going to be that old school approach where it's that honorable thing where everyone's going to be like, it's honorable because it's not me, so I'm going to do what they want. But I think, like Jemmy said, there's going to get to a point where it's going to merge from that old style into the new style.
And that's fine.
And I'm just can't wait to see how the old schoolers react to the new style approach.
Oh yeah,
because we all saw how Ace did it, and Ace's body rejected it.
Yes. He did not get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
No, he got a plumber instead. But now it's one of your favorite parts of the show.
Okay, now it's the 90s party.
Now that's what you call a 90s party.
Now that's what I call a 90s. How cool is that? They did the now that's what I call music.
Yeah,
thing.
like my brother, he's my younger brother with autism. One thing he always loves is the Now CDs. So every for his birthday, we'll get him the 2 more recent CDs. So we have a stack of them. And I just think about like the original OG Now CDs. I'm like, when that popped up on the screen, I popped. I was like, "Ow, that's awesome!"
Well, I DJ. I mean, like you see, It's right
Yeah.
there. I have my two Techniques turntables, and I DJ and like for like Halloween, like my go-to cheat album is Now That's What I Call Halloween, and then for Christmas, Now That's What I Call Christmas. And and you got two albums just loaded with the most perfect Halloween songs, the most perfect Christmas songs, and so I know it's great. So at that point, we get Puff Daddy, we get Salt and Pepper, and everyone is dressed in their awesome '90s gear. Kellyanne for the win.
Stole the show.
No contest.
No contest.
If there was a contest, she won first place, and by a mile. Holy moly! But Ace, kind of funny, thought it was an 1890s costume.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. Because at first I had no idea what that was. I was like, did he just blanket himself and just come in? Then I realized what it was. I was like, oh, that's funny. That's fine. That's his fish out of water thing. But it was I got it. It was fun.
Yeah. I mean, and it seemed like he had kind of isolated himself until that moment. So to come in and be like, you guys are all right. And I only brought one outfit, so might as well get it out of the way because I'll be leaving soon. So yeah. So my big takeaway up to this point, we have the breakfast with Yasela. Is she everyone's favorite by this point of the episode?
I don't see how she isn't.
Yeah, right.
It was her episode.
Yeah. So, and now it's time for the arena, and we learn that Ace wants to win so he can give all the money away. Well, unless it's to me, I'm not for that.
Yeah, I'd like, do you? If you win the money, sure. Like, I don't need to know what you're doing with the money. Like, and it also doesn't, like, I don't need to hear what people want to use the money for.
No.
I hate the questions like in Survivor, like, what will you do with the money you want? I'm like, it's my business.
Yeah.
I want it. It's my money now. It's not your money. I get to spend it how I want. Just like if I earned it at a job.
And it's not like these people are, the professional challenge people. These motherfuckers have real lives, real jobs, and families. That's why they're here.
Yeah.
It's okay that they want to go back and pay for their kids' college education. That's fine. Yeah. It's okay that maybe they want to have another kid and upgrade from a 3-bedroom to a 4-bedroom house. It's okay.
Yeah.
So that fucking, I was going to give it all away. Well, great, motherfucker. Then I'm glad you didn't win.
And I also hope that was like a confessional he made after he already lost. Yeah. So then it was like I'm going to make myself sound really good here. Be like, oh, I was going to give it all to charity.
Yeah. Well, that's the one I do. the post-production confessional. Oh yeah, I was definitely going to give it all away.
Yeah, definitely. But we have LT once again hitting on the point. I don't want to be the first one out. So like, even with how Ace is being shown this episode, you're like, yes, this is Ace going home. They did a good job of editing it in a way where you're like, LT could very likely be going home here.
Yeah. And, you see the size differential, you see the popcorn muscles, and we've learned, like, don't let those popcorn muscles fool you. They're just for looks.
Yeah. Like
Ace is a scrappy redneck. Scrappy rednecks are tough.
Yeah, there's grit. There's grit there. And I always say, like, grit beats just overall power a lot of the time as long as you're hungry for it. Like, if you're hungry for this win, like, you can lift weights all you want. That lifting weights is not the same as wrestling. It's not the same as doing something truly physical. It's just, you're getting stronger, but you need to know how to use the muscles.
Yeah.
Outside of just, I lift things up and I put them down. Well, I guess the Letarian was able to do that tonight, though.
Yeah, well, on Survivor Pro Islands, there's a challenge where, like, we have to hold up one of our tribe mates in like this teepee over the water, and it comes down to Rupert versus OT. Well, physically, OT is he's a beautiful man with all these popcorn muscles. I'm saying that, I'm like, Rupert wins this. I'm like, OT has never lifted this much weight without gloves on in his entire life.
Yeah, if you've never gotten calluses on your hands, it's like,
yeah. So Rupert's hands are just they're two big calluses is all they are. Because like Rupert's job prior to Survivor, he was the guy like at college football games. He's the guy that lays the track that the camera rolls on.
Yeah,
he was laying, the night before the game, he's laying the track himself. So that, that's just hand labor. So whereas, Austin had a nice office job. And as I said, when he goes to the gym, he puts on his pretty gloves and then lifts, beautifully cleaned weights.
Yeah.
And Rupert wins that challenge.
Yeah. There's show muscles and actual muscles.
Yeah. So and then back in the day in wrestling, like Jim Crockett's NWA, WCW, you had Nikita Koloff and the Four Horsemen and all these fucking badasses. The baddest motherfucker in that locker room, Robert Gibson of the Rock and Roll Express. So like there was one day like Nikita was walking through doing his fake fucking accent and Robert Gibson had enough in a towel, buck naked. Fucking heard enough, beat the fucking wheels off Nikita Koloff. Robert fucking Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express, because he's a fucking redneck, and rednecks can whoop that ass. So it was not a foregone conclusion that LT beats Ace.
No. So we get them both down there, and TJ then says, like, Yesella, you have the lightsaber. Do you want to use it tonight? And we cut to Yesella going, this dude 15 years ago called me dead weight in a confessional as I was leaving. You think I'm going to use it on him? And TJ's like, so are you going to use it? No.
No.
And he's just like, okay.
I loved it. It made me so happy. As I said, I was over Ace at this point. Like, I don't dislike the guy, but I'm like, I'm willing to learn more about LT. I'm not rooting for an LT win, but
no,
I got my Ace quota.
Yeah, I think we got maximum Ace here, because what else were you going to get from Ace other than, you all are monsters, you're just going to throw me in again?
Yeah. No, he ends with the best line of the entire show. We learn that the elimination challenge is pole wrestle. Cut to Ace. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. He's like, fuck you guys. But you also have LT after TJ goes, we're going to have the old-fashioned pole wrestle, with LT responding, what's a pole wrestle? In the most like straight voice. Just like, I'm like, is it not in the name?
Yeah, right. Well, you're not at a strip club.
Yeah, and you're also somewhere Derek's just fuming, going, this could have been me. This could have been me.
I could have got my gold skull to raise TJ's final.
Yeah, like he did talk about that. They're like, Derek, were you sad that you missed out on like competing in this? He's like, yeah, I want to compete against everyone.
I bet. So yeah, no, like in case you thought you might have heard a bad word here or there in this episode, but you're like, maybe I didn't hear that. Maybe I convinced myself I heard it. When you have the immediate reply from Ace, fuck you guys. It's like, oh yes, this is uncensored and I love it. And once again, I'm just like, Survivor Legends, Paramount Plus, sign me the fuck up, please. Oh my God, if I could tell people to fuck off and they don't edit it, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. So I that would be fantastic. But did you know, like we know Laterian is he's all about the physical fitness, he's a trainer. Did you know he moonlights as a plumber?
I was not aware. At first, I thought he had gone to the Big Van Vader School of Power Bombing, and
I wrote that down.
which he mastered, master of the power bomb.
Yeah, it was like when the person tries to do the triangle choke and the guy just one arms them and just like boom, the pole's mine.
Yeah, so that was good round one, but yes, sir, round two, Super Mario Brothers in full effect. LT the plumber with Ace acting the role of the plunger. Holy moly.
I want to know how many times he rammed Ace into the ground, because like you have to be losing your breath each time he's putting all that force into him, pounding him, literally just picking him up constantly, just throwing him into the ground. Like at that point, if I'm Ace, I'd rather be the shit than the plunger at the now.
Yeah. Real quick, MITM uncensored. Yes, the show is uncensored on it. Like there is full profanity. So like Ace literally says "fuck you guys" when he saw when the challenge is revealed. So and they say the words "fuck you guys." It is fucking great.
Yeah, like you have them fucking saying Darrell's just like, Ace, why are you fucking crying about this? Just going, I'm like, oh, thank God we finally get to hear everyone just curse and be themselves. You don't need to bleep it out. Yeah. Everyone hears it everywhere. Because you hide it for 1 millisecond on a TV show doesn't make, I'll never know what that word was.
Oh man, what did they say? Was it a super awesome word that I wish I knew that I could add to my vocabulary?
It's like when they tried to blank out jackass by blanking out Jack. So they go, you ass. Like, okay, what was the point?
Yeah. So yeah, no, it is unedited. It is fucking great. Just everything about this was awesome. So we have LT with the win, and we get like the post-win confessional. LT has the personality of an American Gladiator, you know, like from the 80s TV show, and not a compliment.
No. No, he's like, it's my redemption.
Yeah.
Get it.
It's like,
and I'm hungry for more.
Yeah. And I'm just don't let this guy win. Whatever. Like, he can't, right?
I have to assume he's going to be like one of those people that when it's a guy's day, if like one of the easier people aren't there, they're going to be like, well, T was in there before. We'll just put him in there again.
Yeah.
You know? So
he'll get in enough to where it's like, oh man, that sucks. Can't believe he didn't win this time.
You're like, oh, maybe he's earned his spot to come back for season 2.
Yeah. No.
We have a big pool here.
We have a huge pool that we don't need LT back. As I said, I don't dislike the guy, but there's not a lot of meat on the bone.
Yeah, like
character wise.
Like I'm gonna give him the chance just because he did win this, and we could see what happens over these next 8 episodes.
Sure. Might win me over. I don't think he is. As I said, personality of American Gladiator, not a compliment.
No, is he the big T of the season? No, that's Gisela.
Yeah. So then we have Ace tearing up for missing his dog. Maybe you shouldn't have come, dude. Hey, you know what? I'm glad he did. I'm glad I got to see him and just remind, like, when I see Ace, I remind of Real World Paris more than anything else. And then I'm just like, oh, shit, bring Adam King instead of Ace next time.
Oh, I would love to have Adam King back.
Oh, I got Adam King stories, brother.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's episode 1.
Yeah.
Legends never die.
Real quick, Robert Hobbs, Johnny, have you heard the rumors about Michelle Fitzgerald, Wendell Holland going to be on the challenge season 37? The latest we heard is Wendell, yes, Michelle, no.
I try to avoid those as much as possible so that I can be pleasantly surprised. It comes out anyway, but I did hear like they were both in the rumor pool for the Survivor.
Yeah,
people, and I know Jay is like pushing really hard to get Michelle, I think, to change her mind and say yes.
I don't think it's a Michelle thing. I think it's a them thing. I think Michelle. They're not done, but the rumored innuendo, the jury, the selection pool is narrowing, and Wendell is on the list, and Michelle is not as of last. Whatever.
You know what? I would be fine seeing Wendell on a show again.
I love Wendell and I love Michelle. They're both great friends. I don't need Michelle and Wendell on a show together.
Like, I also feel like Wendell has so much going on in his life already that, like, and other things and other channels that he's on.
Yeah. No, he really wants to do the challenge.
And and he's also like, he's friends with Josh. He's been supporting Josh as Josh has made his transition over. He probably has friends in the Big Brother community because of that. So he probably thinks like, I could go in here and also do really well.
Yeah. No, he would. He's a natural athlete. But I mean, like, but like the whole Fiat, like, I don't think there would be the issue that it was on season 40 with the just kicking it and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't need it addressed in any like I need for me personally, I just need a little more time with or I just want Wendell on season 37, Michelle on season 38.
Yeah. My thing is, I feel like if they're putting both of them on the cast, it's what you fear, and I feel like they're creating an X's season.
Yeah.
And we've seen the storyline.
Yeah. Well, they could. I mean, I guess they could be. I don't want. I'm done with that story. I said I love them both. They're both so awesome that I want Michelle to be able to tell her story on the challenge, and I want Wendell to tell his story on the challenge. And I don't think they need to tell their story on the challenge.
Exactly, and you can see that they're trying to find more and more challenge or survivor people to bring over to the challenge. Like, you can just have like her going on with one of her better friends, Jay, or her and Natalie. Like, you can have different combinations of people come in, and then eventually maybe have a season where both of them are on the season together at the same time.
Yeah, and with enough time, then it's not the or is there still animosity over the breakup? Or are they going to get back together? I think that there's over enough time. It's just like, no, they're fucking friends. That's it.
Yeah,
there's lots of motherfuckers that are friends. So not a story there.
Exactly. And I'm sure as like the weeks go on here, we'll hear more and more about what this cast pool is narrowing down to, because I would assume they're getting close to moving out.
Johnny Bananas is in there.
Yeah.
Devin is not.
No.
All right, no more. So, as I said, this is all rumor and innuendo. Who knows? Like whoever, like it could be like a crazy person putting out this list.
Exactly.
I need to put out a list.
Like, hey, you might as well. Just like it'll get tracked by TMZ. Jonny Fairplay reveals the cast of the Challenge 37.
Oh, Anissa is on the list.
Oh yeah, Anissa is on. So for me, the only thing for sure are 4 people I think I saw were like confirmed they are on the season, and it's like Tori, Anissa, like Big T, and Fessy.
Okay.
Like those are the 4 names I saw that were like, yeah, they're locked in already.
Then Anissa shouldn't have been on this. Like, pick one.
No. And like she comes in here, and I feel like she probably came into the season thinking, oh, like Trishelle, like, oh, it's gonna be like the old days.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like reunion, summer camp, and then she's like, oh, it's real challenges again. Oh yeah, I'm not being captain.
yeah, I'm far against this.
Yeah, she's like, I made a huge mistake.
Yeah. All right. There we go. So no scenes for next week per se. We got to look at the season as a whole coming up. Looks like some crazy shit, man. I mean, we got a tractor trailer with some crazy shit. We got people falling through stuff. We got people screaming at each other. It's everything that we wanted and more, right?
Yeah, like we have some crazy throwback challenges, eliminations coming back. Yeah, like we see a lot of the females arguing with each other.
Oh boy, what do we got here? Should have cast Ben. I believe it's. We don't know for a fact, Robert Hobbs, that Ben had served our nation's military. Was that ever?
I don't think they ever recall. I don't recall them ever saying what his occupation was.
I don't think they mentioned it.
I thought he was just guy who wears a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Yes, and some plaid.
There we go. Yeah, I don't think that was I don't think that was ever confirmed on the show or mentioned by Ben 14 times this season. So there we go.
Yeah, we'll be back next week.
Yeah. All right. So do you have a win? Well, you have to go with your draft. Your draft.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my draft team. So I'm gonna go based off the MVP. I'll give my MVPs of this episode were 2 people on my team, and that was Yes and Yesella. So I'm on the Estella train. I'm rooting for her the most out of anyone on this cast now after that first episode. That episode sold me on her. I'm like, yes, I'm on full board. My last pick of the draft. Don't hurt me, Estella.
Okay, who had Ace?
Lauren.
Okay. So
You're in the
Lauren,
clear.
all right. I knew I knew I was pretty adamant about not taking Ace. So.
Yeah, same.
All right. Well, I feel good with that. My guy Derek wearing a Pitbull shirt on the Aftermath show. Everybody check that out. Join us next week. We will be we are one step closer to TJ's final on Double Agents. So we will be there next Wednesday at 10 p.m. And then again Thursday, we're have Trishelle Cannatella joining us next Thursday night. So we are beyond excited for that. I hope she's fiery. I cannot imagine that she will not be. So that is next Thursday. Also, catch our coverage Big Brother Canada. And the best way to support the podcast, of course, is to become a patron. Go to adfreeNSFW.com. Get your Ashley, Millionaire, Mitchell autograph picks along with Trishelle and 2 others if you become a patron. We're so excited that Ashley was kind enough and Trishelle was kind enough to do that for us. So, adfreeNSFW.com. If you like the show, click like wherever you're watching this. Click the subscribe button. Give us 5 stars. Leave a comment if you like it. If you don't like it, just go away. I did not knock on your door and make you come here. so Alex, thank you very much. This was the best hour of television of 2021. Sky's the limit.
Yeah, I can't wait till next week.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Until next week.